Hello my friend and welcome to this reading. My name is Oki and today we will have a look at what wants to grow and expand in your life. And of course this is a timeless reading, however when I'm filming this, spring is really coming around, things are starting to grow, things are starting to get green, the sunlight is certainly getting stronger, there's bird song in the morning, so it feels like things are coming alive again, and I think that will also happen for you whenever you watch this reading. So we will have a look at what it actually is that wants to grow and expand and how you can nurture it. We will also look at how this will unfold and what will help you to actually get to that growth and expansions. And also, as always, at the end of each reading I will give you some affirmations in case you want to continue working with the energies of the reading. And so for today we have those three choices. We have card number 1 with honor your body as a friend. Card number 2 with remember the bones. And card number 3 with light the candle of grace. And as always, you will find the timestamps in the description box below, so I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, honor your body as a friend. So I am assuming that your growth and expansion is about your relationship with your body. Perhaps you have some concerns about body image or health or aging or something like that. And I think you're growing now into befriending your body, honoring your body, respecting your body, perhaps also connecting more to the wisdom of your body and learning the language of your body. Perhaps doing some sort of physical cleanse or detox or fasting, perhaps. Maybe getting into healthier routines, exercise routines, perhaps also resting more, taking better care of your body, leaning more into self-care. I think all those things could be important for you now. But let's get some more cards to see what actually wants to grow and expand in your life right now. What wants to grow and expand? Rhythms, groundedness, nature, earth. Very beautiful. Also, again, similar colors of orange and red. But let's get a tarot card to go with that as well. King of Swords. Yeah, maybe let's get a second card. Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful. Yeah, I think the Queen of Pentacles goes very well with the theme of groundedness and earth. And again, we have those lovely orange and reddish colors. So yeah, maybe the first step for you to befriending your body is actually being more present in your body by being grounded or by connecting to nature, to connecting to earth, using all of the senses of the body, like seeing the beautiful spring flowers, or if you're watching this in a different season, whatever the seasonal beauty of nature has to offer to you, hearing the bird song, perhaps being barefoot on the earth, on the ground, on the grass, and sort of really sensing into it, sensing into your body, sensing into your connection to the earth. Those are the first things that are coming up. And with the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords, sort of very contrasting energies of what is traditionally described as female and male energies, but also the energies of the earth and the energies of the sky with the pentacles and swords. So that again goes well with the theme of rhythms, of having maybe a dynamic balance between one and the other, between activity and rest, between going outside and going inside, between body and mind, and sort of coming to a more harmonious balance with that and understanding it as different parts of the whole rather than separate parts. Yeah, I'm getting that what wants to come into your life is also a sense of wholeness or completeness or sacredness or being imperfectly perfect, and understanding that that is the nature of the human experience. That is what makes you unique and beautiful. And understanding and seeing and perceiving that beauty both within yourself and others is a theme that is coming through. And with the, I don't know the English name for this flower, we call it Echinacea. And it is a plant that is said to support your immune system. So I think also a lot of healing and strengthening coming in for you, of renewed vitality coming in for you. And by healing, of course, I mean if you have any medical issues or physical issues, or you suspect that you might have those issues, please, check them out and make responsible decisions around that. Don't sort of wait for this healing to come in just because I said so, of course. But trust that if you have been looking for a solution, so to speak, something will come in for you that is nurturing and healing. But I do think that it's perhaps something unexpected, or perhaps you have been sort of looking in the wrong place for those healing energies, because I think they have to do with self-love and seeing your own beauty, but also connecting to nature and letting nature's beauty and abundance inspire you. Perhaps also with those red colors and the Queen of Pentacles, here with the flowing gown and the snake around her feet, perhaps also tapping more into your sensuality and celebrating your body in that way could be. Okay, let's get some more cards to see how you can nurture that expansion. How can you nurture that expansion? Solitude, rest, ponder, quiet, sanctuary. Very different energies. Again with the red, but this time sort of a night feeling, a darker energy to it. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Also with a very sensual depiction, let's say, of this person combing her hair, and yeah, it looks like she or they are really leaning into their wildness and beauty and perhaps sensuality. Okay. I'm not taking all of the cards. There are a bit too many, but we have the Knight of Wands, so 2 knights. And I'm also taking the 4 of Pentacles because it was on the top. Let's see, let's put it perhaps like so. Yeah, two knights here, so definitely encouraging you to take action, to go with your impulses, to go after the things you want, to shift and change things. But with the Pentacles energies here, again, in a very grounded way. Perhaps in a very measured and even slow way or slow pace. And with the Solitude and Rest card, quiet sanctuary, yeah, so maybe giving your body more rest, just as simple as that. Coming back to your body is what I'm hearing. And of course, if you want to come back to your body, it seems that you have been very busy or very in your mind. And for that to come back to your body, to ground, to be in the moment, of course you would have to slow down and perhaps rest or sit in meditation or take a moment to tap into that sensual side, meaning tap into your senses. What can you feel? What can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? And that, of course, will help you sort of ground and create a sense of safety, but it will also allow you to tap into this enjoyment of your body, this perhaps sensual pleasure. And of course, sensual pleasure, it doesn't have to be in a sexual way. It could just simply be in a sensual way, meaning using the senses, like enjoying the sunshine on your skin, enjoying the beauty and perhaps the perfume of the flowers you encounter in nature, things like that. So yeah, again, I'm getting with those set of cards, grounding in your body, making self-care a priority, making sensuality a priority. Also with the Century, I'm getting making safety a priority, cultivating a sense of safety in the body. And perhaps you know that for people who have experienced trauma, it's very difficult to ever feel completely safe. So it can sometimes be about feeling safer. And I think you will know how to do that in your own way, but I think it starts with grounding in the body, grounding in the present moment, taking inventory about what's even happening in the body or in the mind. So meditation, again, could be another clue for you. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles, and it's very beautiful, I think, in this deck with the clear crystals that can also bring in healing energy. That is what quartz crystals are known for, and transmitting information also. But the Four of Pentacles, I think, is, for me at least, it is the strongest card in tarot, speaking of stability and groundedness and balance. So yeah, I think those are the energies that are coming in for you, but those are also the energies that you would do well to consciously create and nurture and prioritize in your life right now. Okay. Let's have a look next how this will unfold for you, this growth and expansion. How will it unfold for you? The High Priestess, the Empress, and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, you really need a sort of reset. You really need to make a new start, I feel. Or perhaps focusing on the things will give you a sense of starting anew, being able to start a new life, being able to turn a page and start a new chapter. And the High Priestess also speaks about, similar to the solitude, rest, ponder, quiet, sanctuary card, speaks of going within and unlocking your inner wisdom, following your intuition. And I think that's an important sort of flip for you to make, to be less in your mind and more in your body and more in your intuition. Listening to your inner wisdom emerge, perhaps through the language of your body or through the language of your emotions. Or maybe you have already figured out some ways to listen to your intuition. Maybe you have already developed some clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, or something like that. And if not, maybe now is a time to develop those psychic senses more. And with the Empress, very beautiful cards of abundance, joy, those really warm colors, I think. Maybe you felt that something in your life felt cold or felt lacking, or your heart felt cold or your body felt cold. And I think there's a lot of warmth coming in for you, a lot of love coming in for you, and not necessarily could be, but not necessarily love from another person. I think more so self-love, or feeling loved and held by Mother Earth. And another theme that I'm getting is allowing things to be as they are. With the rhythms also, things are constantly shifting and changing anyway. And so, of course, there will be a natural up and down and up and down. Of course, if it feels like it's only going down, that's not good. But maybe perhaps taking it a bit more easy and letting go of perfectionism or concepts of how things should be, and instead being with how things are at the moment, and finding beauty in that, and finding acceptance for that, and perhaps even, finding some joy and fulfillment in that. Okay. Let's see what some more things are that will help you get there to this sense of abundance and vitality and new starts, breakthrough and opportunity. I want to actually do it like that, because the opportunity here, with the woodpecker, I feel the opportunity will be knocking at your door, but with the bee also, I feel like you have to put in the work. You have to sort of make sure you're not missing the opportunities. You have to make sure that when the opportunities come around, you take the action, with the two knights here as well. And I think you do know which actions that would be, but maybe you need to sort of have the courage to take those actions, and also perhaps convince yourself or believe in yourself that you deserve all of those good things coming in for you, and sort of that you are allowed to take action towards them. That's coming through really strongly. You don't have to wait till you have figured everything out. You can take actions now. You are deserving now. You don't have to. Again, I'm hearing the theme of being perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be deserving of vitality and love and abundance and joy and pleasure. And yeah, apparently a breakthrough around that is coming. And because it landed on the King of Swords, or I mean, I put it there, but I put it there because I thought this was the right side for it. I think the breakthrough will be a shift in perspective where you are able to see and understand those things on a deeper level, the things that we talked about. The trusting your body, the trusting the rhythms and the flow of life. The taking the actions and perhaps cultivating a practice of meditation, self-care, grounding, going within, listening to your body and to your emotions, and then taking action from that place, from that grounded place. Yeah, listen to your body more is what I'm hearing. Learn the language of your body. And maybe you have been trying to shift your body in a certain direction. Maybe you have been trying to make yourself be healthier or more beautiful, or what you perceive as more beautiful. Maybe you have been trying to lose weight or gain muscle or gain health or look younger or whatever. But I think in a way that if you have done that, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but there is a way to do it that is respectful of the body, and there's also a way of doing that that's perhaps comes from a place where you really don't accept your body and where you want to change it because you reject it. And I think there's some learning for you around that is being offered to you, how you can honor your body as a friend, as this card says, while perhaps at the same time still thriving to have a even more healthy and beautiful body, but doing it in a less forceful way perhaps. And of course, you make your own decisions, but that is what is coming through as suggestion for you. Okay, let's have a look at any last messages from your guides that want to come through. And then after that, I will try to sum up the reading and an affirmation for you in case you want to continue working with the energy of the reading. But let's have a look at what some last messages might be. Gabo orchid. Yes, the orchid, of course, is also a flower or a plant that's very connected to beauty and sensuality. And with this, I don't know how to call it, construction anyway, more about balance. So one side could go down and could go up again, but in a scale there's also, it will balance out. If you take off the weights, it will balance out by itself. And Gabo, of course, is the rune of giving and receiving. And what I'm getting from this card, or this rune in this case, is if you support your body will support you. If you take care of your body will take care of you. Yeah, that's very beautiful. And that also, of course, could already be your affirmation if you want to use that. But let's see if any other affirmations want to come through. I deeply respect my body and the cycles of life. I now make it a priority to connect to my body and listen to its wisdom. I ground myself in my body and on this earth and open my senses to the beauty of life. Okay, those are the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Remember the Bones. And the first thing that I'm getting is, for you, the growth and expansion will actually start with a reduction of clutter or distraction perhaps, and getting back to the bones, or getting back to the core of your project, or perhaps even the core of who you are and what you want to create in your life, in this world. So yeah, that are the first things I'm getting, but let's have a closer look at what it actually is that wants to grow and expand in your life. Celebration, bliss, joy, and delight. And confidence, pride, poise, and assurance. And it's interesting because both of those figures have we have a peacock and a pheasant, but they both have a bird as a headpiece. I find that very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what that bird headpiece means yet, but it's certainly worth noting. Okay. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, with particularly this Seven of Pentacles, I feel you are about to discover something. You are about to discover a path that will lead you deeper into something, deeper into an interest, deeper into a project, or perhaps deeper into having some insights about yourself, your identity perhaps, or your talents. And then you will be able to build something from there. And perhaps this is like, I'm seeing it now as a ladder where the first step is discovering this talent or identity, part of your identity. Then from there, drawing confidence from it and gaining pride and poise and assurance from it, from developing that talents or skill or expression of yourself, sort of refining it perhaps, and then that will lead you to celebration, bliss, joy, and delight. Yeah, interesting. And I think we will circle back to that later, but let's have a look next at how you can nurture that, that wants to come in. And we have togetherness, loyalty, fellowship, and bonding. And look, here's the peacock again, very interesting. And some other animals, some cats. Okay. How can you nurture that path, that confidence and celebration? Seven of Wands and strength. So another 7. And I think this path has to do with facing your fears and developing inner strength and compassion. In this case, perhaps compassion for yourself or compassion for your shadow aspects. I feel they are represented by this sort of monster here. I think that is a representation of sort of your darker parts or your rejected parts, or maybe your previously unseen parts. Maybe this is what this discovery is about. Finding out about a side of yourself that you hadn't discovered before. Because maybe you or someone else judged it as ugly or difficult or unacceptable anyway. Yeah, and maybe allowing that part of yourself back in is something that seems scary or seems impossible, or you want to do it, you want to integrate it, you want to bring it in your life, but you don't know yet how you will go about it. The path towards it is very unclear to you at the moment, perhaps, but it will become more clear. And I think what will greatly help you on your path is finding community or finding like-minded people or friends, or making this talent, this identity of yours something that you can bond over with others, or finding others who are on the same path, who want to learn the same things that you want to learn, or practice the same skills that you want to practice. And really could be anything, could be creative endeavors, perhaps. Also, because I was getting something about identity, I was thinking perhaps could be that, I don't know, you are discovering maybe not neurodiversity, perhaps, because that is just an example from my own life where for most of my life, I didn't know that I am autistic. I didn't know that I have ADHD, and getting diagnosed and finding out about that really shifted my path in life a lot and allowed me to connect differently to other people with sort of the same path. Yeah, and that has, for me, that has been really helpful, but that is just an example. Could be something else. Could be your identity as an artist or musician. Or could be the opposite. Could be that, you've tried to be sort of creative because that had maybe a romantic association for you, or it seemed cool, let's say, quote unquote, and now you're discovering that, no, really, I want to work with numbers or something like that. And maybe you've judged that part of yourself as boring or something like that, but now you're discovering, no, that is really my passion, that's what I want to do. And of course, again, those are just examples to illustrate what I think this journey for you is about. And also, of course, remember, the bones could be connecting to your ancestors or your ancestry, or some cultural traditions that maybe you had rejected before and now you are going to embrace them. Perhaps a religious or spiritual tradition that maybe you had left and now you're sort of rediscovering it. Could be all of those things. But if you are able to let go of that judgment, if you are able to let go of those fears surrounding that, I think it will give you this confidence, this joy, and also this ability to connect to others in a new and different way. Perhaps even find your tribe, so to speak, or your chosen family, perhaps even. Or maybe just integrating different parts of yourself and having a better relationship with yourself could be. Yeah, that is beautiful. I'm already getting the sense of, really joy and celebration, and things sort of, the energy is getting lighter and moving up, and really you getting rid of some sort of darker, denser energies just by allowing them to sort of drop away, by focusing on the things that are important to you, that are meaningful to you, that are relevant to you. And perhaps letting go of pre-described notions of who you are supposed to be or what you are supposed to do. Either your own sort of concepts of yourself, or perhaps other people's expectations of you, or perhaps both. Okay. Let's see next how this will unfold for you. And we have the King of Cups and the 8 of Cups. Be kinder to yourself is what I'm hearing. And with the 8 of Cups, really leave behind what isn't working for you. And really seek out what it is that in your heart of hearts you desire. Even if it feels scary. Even if you have to sort of work hard for it, or work through your fears for it, or have to challenge yourself for it. Even if you are in a somewhat comfortable place right now, I think in your heart of hearts, if you're honest to yourself, you know that there's more out there for you. And I think this reading is really telling you now is the time. Now is the time to go after it. Now is the time to remember those dreams that perhaps you had pushed down before, or other people convinced you to push down before. And with the King of Cups, really step into your own sovereignty, step into your own authentic expression of yourself. And it's interesting because it feels like there are so many readings that have come through recently that talked about this theme of becoming more authentic and daring to live your own life, daring to deviate from a path that seems to have been laid out for you. You deserve more. You deserve more happiness and beauty and fulfillment and joy, bliss, delight. You deserve all of that. You deserve to feel proud of yourself and feel confidence within your own body and within your own life. Yeah, and with that, I must admit, I'm also getting a strong feeling of sadness. And now, actually, this card to me, it's looking a bit sad. The creature here is looking a bit teary-eyed to me now that I'm feeling that sadness. So maybe that's what has been holding you back, that there's a great pain around those dreams that you have, or around those parts of yourself that you've perhaps pushed into the shadow. But I do think avoiding that pain and avoiding perhaps that fear, that won't serve you any longer. I think there's a strong invitation for you now to face those difficult emotions and really make an effort to move forward knowing that it will give you all those positive outcomes. Maybe let's get one more tarot card to see. We're getting 2 cards. How this will unfold. And we are getting the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands in this card, in this deck, to me is a card of blessings. So you will receive a lot of blessings once you step on this path. And with the 2 of Wands, also a lot of support and direction. And I think once you start following this path, it will be very clear to you how to walk it. Yeah, that's a strong sense that I'm getting. And it will all make sense, is what I'm hearing. Once you allow yourself to follow this path, to follow this hidden path, things will sort of naturally, I think, fall into place for you. Things will start to make more sense for you. Yeah, very beautiful. Okay, let's get 2 more cards now to see what else will help you get there. Okay, those 3 cards fell out, so I'm taking them. And we have evolve into your complexity. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that could also mean that maybe this part of you that is being unlocked now, maybe you couldn't embrace it before because maybe it feels sort of contradictory to something else, or to some of your other interests or some of your other identities or something like that. But know that you can actually take this on board, and it won't change who you are. It will be a more complete expression of who you are. You are about to shine. How beautiful, with the candle here and the light coming into the darkness and the color coming into the blackness. I think that goes so well with this blessings card here. You are really emerging out of the darkness, or trust that you will be able to emerge out of that darkness. And with the armadillo here, I'm also getting a sense of protection. So, I mean, of course, always make sure you make sensible decisions, but from a spiritual point of view, you are very protected at this time. So dare to perhaps step into the darkness, or step into the unknown, or start that journey even if you don't know how to do that right now, because it will become so clear to you. And then we have shake, release, heal, and move on. Again, with very similar colors, of those beautiful warm colors coming into the blackness, into the darkness. Shake, release, move on. That's how you heal. Yeah, release those fears, shake off those judgments from yourself or others, and just move on your own path. Don't focus too much on that pain and fear. Focus on to moving on your path, following your heart. Yeah, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And I think with these cards also, I feel a sense of humor returning to you. Maybe you even had difficulty experiencing joy or delight or humor. Maybe things looked very dark for you. And I think that is certainly going to shift right now. Okay. Let's get one more card to see if there are any last messages for you, and then after that I will try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you in case you want to continue working with the energies of this reading. But first let's get you a card or two to see if your guides have any messages for you. Ava's you. So really a strong transformation coming in for you. New growth coming in for you. Let's get one more. Ancestors with Statura. And look at all those hands. So yeah, maybe it is about your ancestry or a certain tradition. Ancestors could also mean just connecting to people who have walked the path before you. So if you have figured out what your path is going to be, maybe get inspired by other people who've walked that path before you. So for example, if you want to become an artist, maybe check out some famous artists, what they did, how they experienced their journey, what their routines were. Or if you want to reconnect to your ancestors, perhaps look up some traditions that you could invite into your life. Maybe some food is always a good idea to get started with, discover perhaps some traditional recipes, or get perhaps your grandmother's recipes or something like that. Be creative about it. Because this is a journey that is going to be about joy and bliss and celebration and connecting with others. Yes, it will also involve doing some shadow work or emotional healing and allowing this transformation and allowing things to dissolve and drop away and clear away. Because remember, we said it starts with a reduction, and I think it starts with allowing the things that don't fit anymore to go, but also then those colors coming in, those blessings coming in, the sense of pride and joy coming in, the sense of community coming in, being that or embodying that peacock energy of being really like beautiful and radiant and expressive. I think that is what wants to come in for you. Okay, let me then sum up this reading in an affirmation for you. I now invite all of my dreams to come in clearly. I now invite all aspects of myself to show themselves clearly. I will follow the path of my heart, trusting that it will lead me to pride, joy, and community. I now evolve into my complexity. Okay, those are the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Light the Candle of Grace. And of course, grace could mean a lot of different things. Perhaps you're becoming more graceful, or perhaps there's some difficulty in your life and you will learn to bear it or carry it with grace and dignity, could be. But what I'm getting most of all for this group is the concept of grace as the Christian mystics described it, where there are things in life or on your spiritual path that you can't really reach by your own efforts. There are things and gifts and blessings that you can only get through divine grace. And the only thing you can do to sort of move yourself into that direction of receiving that grace is committing to an act of faith. And I don't necessarily mean like committing to the Christian faith. I mean more in the sense of trusting that the universe is a benevolent place, trusting that the divine, in whichever form you perceive it, is benevolent, is loving, is supportive of you. But yeah, that might sound a bit abstract, so let's have a look at what actually wants to grow and expand in your life right now. What wants to grow and expand in your life right now? Contemplation, reflections, ruminations, musings. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm already getting some ideas, but let's get some tarot cards as well. We have the Fool. Take a leap of faith is what I'm hearing. One more. Two more. The Six of Swords and Justice. Very beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I think you are moving to a completely new and unexplored place. You are reaching a new height in your life. And things that perhaps seemed very unbalanced in the past will balance out. And of course, the Justice card can also sometimes stand for getting the just rewards of your hard work, or sort of karmic justice, receiving karmic justice. And even with that, it looks like you've come to the edge of the forest and you're looking out onto this lush plain now. So yeah, something about gaining a new perspective, starting a new journey, connecting to perhaps your inner strengths, or connecting to your spirit guides perhaps, or somehow finding yourself reflected in your life and gaining some deeper understanding on how the outside of us can reflect the inside of us. So yeah, those are the first things I'm getting. So yeah, I think you are about to embark on a spiritual journey, or if you already are on a spiritual journey, I think you will get to a deeper level of it, or you will sort of start to see the effects of it, so to speak, or the rewards of it. For example, if you start a meditation practice, and I've been meditating for, 7 or 8 years now, perhaps something like that, or maybe even a bit longer, I don't remember. But in the beginnings, it can be like you don't really understand what it is about, and it just feels very strange to do it. And sometimes you question why you should commit to it. But if you have committed to it for a certain amount of time and practice it enough, then suddenly you will sort of receive insights or understandings, or having your perspective shift. So maybe you want to start a meditation practice, maybe it's something else. Maybe you already have a spiritual path, or maybe it's not a spiritual path at all. It's just some sort of reflections or journaling you're doing, or some inner work you're doing, could be. Okay, but let's have a look at how you can nurture that journey. And we have celebration, bliss, joy, delight. Let's get one more of those cards. And we have celebrate mystery, trust the journey, unexpected and secrets. Yeah, I love that this card came out, because with the Fool card, I also said take a leap of faith. So trust the journey. That's a similar concept, isn't it? Yeah, be open. Be open to discovering secrets and mysteries and the unexpected. That was a weird shuffle, but yeah, the Hanged Man and Death. Okay. Wow. So we have 4 major arcana cards for you now with the Death and the Hanged Man. Actually, let's put it like that, perhaps. Yeah, a shift in perspective is coming with the Hanged Man, and you will sort of get to this shift of perspective by contemplating, by reflecting, by doing some meditation or some inner work or journaling. And I love that this card says celebrate mystery, and it's interesting because we have celebration and celebrate mystery. So celebration came out twice. So something really about enjoying the journey, not maybe being too focused on getting to the goal of it, but enjoying the journey. And with the Celebrate Mystery card, something that came into my head is there's this Zen saying that goes, not knowing is most intimate. Which means that not knowing or uncertainty can sort of feel very scary, but also they invite you to pay close attention, and also they leave this space, leave this room for the unexpected, for blessings to come and for wonder and awe to sort of show up, because you're open, you haven't sort of planned it all out. You don't know everything yet, so you are able to have this beginner's mind, to have this open mind, to be surprised, to be inspired, to discover things that you didn't know before. Celebrate mystery. What a beautiful card. I want to hold it up to the camera again so you can see those beautiful green and blue and red colors and all those butterflies and flowers and the flamingo and the cheetah and even those mushrooms here. Yeah, the beauty and the wonders of life, bliss, joy, delight. Enjoying the journey is what I'm hearing again, not only trusting the journey but enjoying it. And perhaps taking it slow, slowing down, so you are more able to sort of quote unquote stop and smell the roses. You know, being open to receiving that beauty and not just rushing past it to get somewhere. And of course, this is a timeless reading, but now with spring, I think it's such a beautiful time to be outside, and every day there's more plants coming up, more flowers coming up, more leaves coming up, more birds singing in the morning, and there's something new to be discovered every single day. So even if you're watching that when it's not spring where you live, I think that's the energy that's coming in very strongly, this sort of new emergence of life, new emergence of beauty, of joy, a completely new journey. Also with the Fool card, going on a journey, having a beginner's mind, being open to what it is that wants to come in for you. But yeah, let's have a look next at how this will unfold for you. Okay, the Empress and the King of Swords, and perhaps one more card. the Page of Pentacles. Okay, and I just noticed now that I haven't even talked about the Death card yet. So, yeah, I think allowing yourself to be on that journey will move you through a deep transformation. And perhaps you need to open up to the idea more of inviting transformation, allowing your life to change, allowing yourself as a person to change, allowing yourself to sort of question everything and take this pause with the Hanged Man to gain a new perspective. And again, I love this deck so much. I love the artwork so much. So look at this person, they look so relaxed, even though they're upside down. They seem to be in this dreamlike state, in this sort of state of receiving visions, perhaps. So yeah, I think the message that's coming in over and over again is the message of being open, not knowing, beginner's mind, allowing inspiration to come in, allowing divine grace to come in, allowing blessings to come in. And with the Empress also allowing joy and abundance to come in. And I love this Page of Pentacles as well, because this creature is sort of conjuring up this magic. And again, with the mushrooms here, yeah, trusting life to nourish you, trusting the journey to be successful, creating beauty and magic from this sense of bliss and joy and awe for all of life, perhaps. The web of life, perhaps. Being aware of the sacred and the divine in yourself, in the world, in everything that surrounds you. I know this sounds maybe a bit grand or dramatic, but I think that is the sort of divine grace you will receive. This awareness, this heightened awareness of how beautiful and precious life on this planet really is, and how connected everything is. And how you can sort of, I'm hearing, rise above the human experience and really experience yourself as a spiritual, as a cosmic being even. Yeah, wow, this is really, I think. So if that doesn't resonate with you, perhaps pick a different group or a different reading, because I think this reading really is about sort of spiritual awakening, spiritual blessings coming in. I mean, could be another type of blessing or awakening, but I think that's probably not what this reading is talking about. So yeah, take what resonates, leave the rest as always, and make your own decisions as always. But yeah, let's have a look at what else will help you to get there. So what else will help you to get there? And I saw this card. Nourish the shadow. Let's maybe put that here. Nourish the shadow. And shake, release, heal, move on. That's interesting because group 2 also got that same card in the same position. The shake, release, heal, and move on. It's interesting because I feel those two cards brought in a very different aspect or new aspect to this story, and that is that maybe you have to do some healing, some inner healing, some shadow work. And I think for you that inner healing or that shadow work is mainly about inviting in transformation, allowing transformation, letting go of control, letting go of the need to know and understand things and plan things and control things. And instead moving into trust, into open-mindedness, into open-heartedness, and into connection also. Connection with yourself, connection with the divine, connection with the earth, connection with the web of life. And with the Page of Pentacles, also beginner's mind is what's coming in really strongly. So maybe you thought you had it all figured out with the King of Swords here, but now maybe that is sort of perhaps not breaking down, but I think you are now understanding that that is not the whole picture, that there is so much more to life. There are so many areas of experience that perhaps you haven't experienced yet or haven't connected to yet. So much joy and bliss that wants to come in, but I feel if there's anything that you have to do to receive it, then it's sort of being more open-hearted, being more open-minded, trusting it more. Because I think it's something that you won't be able to make happen, or you won't be able to create or control. I think it's something that you will have to surrender to, open up to be able to receive that. But it will feel very healing and very nourishing to you to receive it. Yeah, I think you will be pleasantly surprised by it. Okay. Let's see if there are any last messages that Spirit wants to send you or your guides want to send you. And then after that, I will try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you so you can continue working with the energies of this reading. 2 cards came out. We have Ingvar's Acorn. Yeah, so much more potential. You're only the small acorn now, and you can grow into this giant tree. Or perhaps you think you are this acorn and you can expand your awareness to become aware that you're this giant tree. Or maybe you're just a leaf on this tree, just a branch on this tree, and this tree is sort of the web of life, let's say. And then Othala Juniper. Okay. Let's see. I want to look up what the guidebook says about Ingvar's. And it's interesting because here for the contemplation it says, what limiting beliefs do I hold on to? How do they slow my personal growth and progress? Yeah, that's interesting. The limiting beliefs, I feel, is what we've talked about before, this perhaps not being open to transformation yet, or perhaps not being able to question your life experience yet, or perhaps believing that you can't tap into that consciousness of the web of life, of divine grace. But you can. That is a message that you can. And then for the Othala rune, we have, what does home mean to me? Is it a place, a state of mind, loved ones? yeah, so I find that also very interesting. And I think that is also why we have the keys here. The Othala rune can also stand for legacy and ancestry, and the runes, okay, there's some debate about it, but in many systems the Othala rune is the last rune, so it's sort of the rune of becoming and undoing at the same time. So that can also stand for sort of spiritual, I don't want to say enlightenment, but connecting to this higher consciousness, connecting to this higher reality, where perhaps you will have a different perception of who you are and who your family are, where you will feel part of the family of all things, of all beings. And your home will not be a place outside of you, but a place inside of you. Okay, yeah, very interesting. So let me try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you. I now take the time to pause and contemplate and open up to a change of my perspective and open my heart and mind to a deep transformation. I trust the journey and I devote myself to enjoying the journey through this life, trusting that divine grace and blessings will come to me and allow me to open up to a higher level of consciousness and experience. I nourish my shadow and receive deep healing. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time.